The diamond ring sparkled under Seoul's city lights as Marcus Chen slipped it onto Zara's finger. "You're mine now," he whispered, his smile perfect, his eyes unreadable. Zara's heart swelled with hope she thought she'd lost forever. After years of struggling alone in Korea, teaching English to pay rent, surviving loneliness and discrimination, she'd finally found someone. Marcus was successful, charming, and persistent in his pursuit of her. He'd courted her for 6 months with flowers, expensive dinners, and promises of a future where she'd never struggle again. "I can't believe this is real," Zara whispered, tears streaming down her face. "Believe it," Marcus said, pulling her close. "You're going to be part of my family now. Everything I have is yours." They stood on his penthouse balcony, the city sprawling beneath them like a kingdom. Zara felt like Cinderella finally getting her happily ever after. She had no idea the castle held dungeons, and that very soon she'd discover monsters wearing crowns. Moving into Marcus's estate was like entering another world. The mansion was enormous, with marble floors, priceless art, and staff who appeared and disappeared like ghosts. But something felt wrong from the first night. Zara would hear sounds, faint, distant crying that seemed to come from beneath the house. "Did you hear that?" she'd ask Marcus. "Hear what?" He'd look at her with concern. "You're just adjusting. Big houses make strange sounds." But Zara had grown up in small apartments. She knew the difference between settling wood and human voices. There were also rooms she wasn't allowed to enter. "That wing is under renovation," Marcus explained when she asked. "Dangerous construction. Stay away for your own safety." The staff avoided her questions entirely. When she mentioned the crying to the housekeeper, the older woman's face went pale, and she hurried away without answering. By the third night, Zara couldn't ignore her instincts anymore. Something terrible was happening in this beautiful house, and she was going to find out what. It happened on a Tuesday evening. Marcus was away on business, and the house felt emptier than usual. Zara had pretended to go to bed early, then waited until the staff retired to their quarters. She crept through the darkened hallways, following the faint sounds she'd heard every night. They led her to a door beneath the main staircase, a door she'd been told was just storage. But storage rooms didn't need electronic locks, didn't need keypad entry, and didn't emit the sound of children crying. Zara's hands shook as she examined the lock. She'd noticed the housekeeper's code earlier when the woman thought she wasn't looking. 4 digits, 0825. She entered them carefully. The lock clicked open. Cold air rushed out as she pulled the door. Stone steps led down into darkness. The crying was louder now, desperate and heartbreaking. "Hello?" Zara called softly, descending carefully. "Is someone down there?" "Help us," a small voice answered. "Please help us." Zara's blood turned to ice. Children. There were children trapped down here. The basement was freezing. Zara's breath came out in white clouds as she reached the bottom of the stairs. In the dim light from her phone, she saw them, 2 children huddled together on a thin mattress. A boy, maybe 8 years old, and a girl who couldn't be more than 6. They were dressed in light pajamas, shivering violently, their lips tinged blue. "Oh my God," Zara breathed, rushing to them. "How long have you been down here?" 3 days, the boy said, his teeth chattering. "She locked us down here because Father was late coming home. She said we're the reason he doesn't love her anymore." "Who locked you down here?" But Zara already knew. There was only one other person in this house with that kind of power. "Miss Yuna," the little girl whispered, "Father's fiancée. She gets angry when Father pays attention to us instead of her." Zara's mind reeled. Marcus's fiancée? But she was Marcus's fiancée. "Unless, what's your father's name?" she asked carefully. "Kang Junwoo," the boy said. "He's very important, very powerful, but Miss Yuna said if we tell him about the basement, she'll make us disappear forever." Zara's world tilted sideways. Kang Junwoo, not Marcus Chen. She'd been engaged to a man using a false name, a man who already had a fiancée, a woman cruel enough to torture children. "Listen to me," Zara said, wrapping the children in her coat. "I'm getting you out of here right now. What are your names?" "Min Jun," the boy said. "And this is Hana." "Okay, Min Jun and Hana. I'm Zara, and I promise you, this ends tonight." She helped them up the stairs, their small bodies weak from cold and hunger. They just reached the main floor when lights blazed on. Yuna stood in the hallway, dressed in a silk robe, her beautiful face twisted with rage. I should have known you'd be a problem, she said coldly.
Is anyone
So
there?
noble, so kind,
Hello?
saving the poor,
I think it's
abandoned
clear.
children. Her laugh was bitter. Do you even know who you're dealing with? A monster, Zara said, positioning herself between Yuna and the children. Someone who hurts innocent kids. Those brats ruined my life, Yuna spat. Their father married their mother instead of me. Then she died, and suddenly I had a chance again. But these little parasites kept him from fully committing, so yes, I punished them. They deserve it. Let us pass, Zara said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. I'm taking them to their father. You're taking them nowhere. Yuna pulled out her phone. I'll call security. Tell them you're kidnapping Junwoo's children. That you're an unstable woman who attacked me. They'll believe me. They always do. Then I'll tell them about the basement, the lock, 3 days without heat or food. Who will they believe? The woman he's known for 10 years, or the foreigner he's bedded for 6 months? Yuna's smile was venomous. You're nothing, Zara, a temporary distraction. But Zara had grown up fighting for everything. She wasn't backing down now. Minjun, Hana, run to the kitchen. Lock yourselves in the pantry. Don't come out until I get you. The children hesitated. Go, Zara commanded. They ran. Yuna lunged to stop them, but Zara blocked her path. You'll have to go through me. Gladly. But before Yuna could move, the front door burst open. Kang Junwoo, Marcus, whatever his real name was, stood in the entrance, flanked by 6 men in dark suits. His expression was thunderous. What the hell is going on in my house? Junwoo! Yuna's voice instantly shifted to sweet concern. Thank God you're here. This woman has gone insane. She broke into the basement, attacked me, and tried to kidnap the children. Shut up. His voice was ice. Just shut up, Yuna. He looked at Zara, and she saw something in his eyes she'd never seen before. Genuine fear. Where are my children? Safe, Zara said. In the pantry. They're cold and hungry and traumatized because your fiancé locked them in a freezing basement for 3 days. That's a lie, Yuna shrieked. She's lying to turn you against me. Am I? Zara pulled out her phone, showing the photos she'd taken in the basement. The thin mattress, the electronic lock, the freezing
I will deal with
temperature
more
reading.
than you can
Your
imagine.
children told me everything. How she punishes them when you pay them attention. How she threatens them if they tell you the truth. Junwoo's face went white, then red with fury. Min, he said to one of his men, take Yuna to the guest house. Lock her in. If she tries to leave, stop her. We'll deal with her later. You can't do this, Yuna screamed as the men grabbed her arms. I love you. Everything I did was for us. You tortured my children. His voice could have frozen oceans. There is no us. There never will be again. After Yuna was removed, Junwoo turned to Zara. Show me. She led him to the kitchen, where Minjun and Hana were huddled in the pantry, clutching each other. The moment they saw their father, they burst into tears. Appa! They ran to him, and Junwoo dropped to his knees, wrapping them in his arms. I'm sorry, he said, his voice breaking. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I should have known. We were scared to tell you, Minjun sobbed. She said she'd make us disappear. Junwoo looked at Zara over his children's heads,
I
and
have
she saw
loved you
raw
for a
gratitude
very long
mixed with
time.
shame.
I have
You
loved
saved
you
them.
for a very long
Anyone
time.
would have. No, they wouldn't.
I love these
My
moments
staff
with
knew
you.
and said
Me
nothing
too.
out of fear.
I could stay here forever.
Yuna had them terrified. He stood slowly, still holding his children. I owe you a debt I can never repay. You can start by telling me the truth. Who are you really? Why did you lie about your name? Junwoo's expression hardened. That conversation requires privacy. Can you stay, please? I need to get the children warm and fed, but then we need to talk. Zara should have run, should have called a cab and never looked back. But those children needed her, and despite everything, she needed answers. I'll stay. 2 hours later, the children were bathed, fed, and sleeping peacefully in their rooms with a trusted nanny watching over them. Junwoo found Zara in the library, staring at the flames in the fireplace. I'm sorry, he said, pouring 2 glasses of whiskey. For the lies, for everything. Who are you? Zara asked. My name is Kang Junwoo. I run a major investment firm here in Seoul. Legal, legitimate, but connected to people who aren't always legal or legitimate. He handed her a glass. I used the name Marcus Chen when courting you because women in my position attract the wrong kind of attention. I wanted someone who loved me for who I am, not what I control. And Yuna was my college girlfriend. We broke up when I met Sumi, the children's mother. Sumi died 2 years ago. Cancer. Yuna reappeared, offering comfort. I was grieving and alone. His hands clenched. I should have seen what she was, the jealousy, the resentment toward my children. She tortured them, Zara said, for 3 days. I know, and she will face consequences. The coldness in his voice sent chills down Zara's spine. What kind of consequences? The kind that ensures she never hurts anyone again. What does that mean? Zara demanded. Are you going to hurt her? No, I don't hurt women, no matter what they've done. Junwoo sat across from her. But I have power in this city, connections. By tomorrow, Yuna will find her family's business licenses revoked, her bank accounts frozen pending investigation, her social standing destroyed. That's justice, legal justice. She committed child endangerment, imprisonment, assault. I have evidence now, thanks to you. He met her eyes. She'll face criminal charges, probably serve time, and when she gets out, she'll have nothing. Zara processed this. And me? What happens to me now that I know your secrets? That's your choice. Junwoo's voice softened. I was falling in love with you, Zara. Real love, not the performance I gave Yuna. But I also lied to you, deceived you. You have every right to walk away. And if I stay, then I'll spend every day proving I'm worthy of your trust. I'll tell you everything, the truth about my business, my family, my life. No more lies. Ever. Zara looked at this complicated man who'd lied to her, but whose children she'd just saved. I need time to think. Take all the time you need. Zara stayed in a guest room that night, her mind spinning. By morning, she'd made no decisions, but couldn't leave without seeing the children. She found them in the breakfast room, eating pancakes with their father. Zara! Hana ran to her, wrapping small arms around her waist. You stayed. Just for breakfast, Zara said, her heart melting. How are you feeling? Better. Warm. Minjun smiled shyly. Father said you saved us.
Oh my god, this
Thank
can't
you.
be real. I
Before
have to
Zara
warn
could
them
respond,
now.
Commotion
This
erupted
changes
in the
everything.
hallway. Shouting, running footsteps. Junwoo stood immediately, positioning himself between his children and the door. Stay here, he commanded. But the danger came anyway. 5 men burst into the room, weapons drawn, not guns, but batons and knives. Where's Yuna? Their leader demanded. Her family sent us. You don't get to destroy her without consequences. Junwoo's expression went deadly calm. Get the children out, now. But before anyone could move, one of the men grabbed Hana. The little girl screamed, and Zara, without thinking, threw herself between them. Don't you dare touch her. The baton came down hard. Zara's world went black. Zara woke in a hospital room, her head pounding. Junwoo sat beside her bed, his face haggard. You're awake, thank God. The children? Her voice came out hoarse. Safe. My security team arrived within seconds. The attackers are in custody. He took her hand carefully. You could have been killed. Why did you? She's a child. Someone had to protect her. I would have. You were across the room. I was closer. Zara tried to sit up and winced. What happened to me? Concussion, bruised ribs. You'll be fine, but you need rest. Junwoo's voice broke. I'm sorry. This is my fault. My world touched you and nearly destroyed you. Your world or Yuna's revenge? Both. I should have handled her differently. Should have seen this coming. He stood, pacing. I'm ending this. Today. No more half measures. What are you going to do? Zara asked warily. Make sure Yuna and her family understand that threatening my children or you means total destruction. Not physical, but everything else. He looked at her. I'm not a violent man, Zara, but I'm also not powerless. And I protect what's mine. The next 3 days were a blur. Junwoo's lawyers filed criminal charges against Yuna. The evidence was overwhelming. The basement, the security footage, the children's testimony. Yuna's family tried to use their influence to make it disappear, but Junwoo's influence was stronger. By the end of the week, Yuna was arrested. Her family's company collapsed under sudden investigations. Social media exposed her cruelty to the children, and public opinion turned viciously against her. Is it over? Zara asked as she recovered in Junwoo's guest room. Almost. The trial will take months, but she's finished, legally and socially. He sat beside her carefully. I owe you everything. My children are safe because of you. I didn't do anything special. You risked your life, twice. Once in the basement, and again when you protected Hana. He took her hand. I know you need time to process everything, to decide if you can forgive my lies. But I need you to know, I love you. truly, deeply. The engagement was supposed to be fake at first, a cover while I investigated you to make sure you were genuine, but somewhere along the way, it became real for me. Zara's heart ached. I don't know if I can trust you. Then let me earn it back, day by day. 2 weeks later, Zara was mostly healed. She'd spent the time getting to know Minjun and Hana properly, playing games, reading stories, becoming the maternal figure they'd been missing. The children adored her, called her Auntie Zara, and begged her not to leave, but she still hadn't decided what to do about Junwoo. "Can we talk?" he asked one evening after the children were asleep. They sat in the garden, Seoul's lights twinkling in the distance. "I need to tell you something else, about my world." Zara braced herself. "My business is legitimate, but my family has connections to organizations that aren't. I've spent 10 years separating myself from that world, building something clean." He paused. "But those connections mean I have power, influence, the ability to protect people I care about. Like destroying Yuna's family? Yes, I'm not proud of it, but I'd do it again to keep my children safe." He looked at her. "If you stay with me, you'll always be protected, but you'll also always be connected to a world that's complicated and sometimes dark. And if I leave, then I'll make sure you're protected anyway, set you up anywhere in the world, make sure you never struggle again." His voice was steady. "I won't trap you, Zara. I learned that lesson." Zara stood and walked to the garden's edge, looking out at the city. "I grew up with nothing," she said quietly. "Single mother, poor neighborhood, scholarship to college. I
Please,
worked
you have to
3
listen to
jobs to
me.
save enough to teach
I
abroad.
didn't mean for this to
Came to
happen.
Korea thinking
I'm
I'd find
begging you.
adventure." She
Please,
laughed
you have to
bitterly.
listen to me.
Instead, I found
I
loneliness,
didn't mean for this to happen.
discrimination,
I'm
struggle.
begging you.
Then you appeared, Marcus Chen with his flowers and promises and perfect smile. She turned to face him. "I thought you were my fairy tale, my happy ending. Finding out it was based on lies broke something in me. I know, I'm sorry. But then I saw you with your children, saw your fear when you thought they were in danger, saw your rage when you learned what Yuna did." She walked back to him. "That wasn't the performance. That was real." "That was real," he confirmed. "Here's what I know. I love those kids. I loved them the second I heard them crying in that basement." She took his hands. "And I'm starting to love you again. The real you, not Marcus Chen. But I need time and honesty, and for you to never, ever lie to me again." Junwoo pulled her close. "I swear, complete honesty, always." "Then let's start over, properly this time." 6 months passed. Yuna was convicted and sentenced to 5 years in prison for child endangerment and assault. Her family's business never recovered. Junwoo and Zara dated properly. Dinners, movies, conversations that lasted until dawn. He introduced her to his world slowly, honestly, hiding nothing. She met his business partners, his family, his trusted circle. Some accepted her immediately. Others were suspicious of the foreign woman who'd appeared from nowhere. But the children loved her
I
unconditionally.
can't let you go in
Hana
there
called
alone.
her Mama
I
Zara
have
now.
to. There's no
Minjun
other way.
confided his
Then I'm
fears
coming
and
with you.
dreams. They'd both been in therapy, healing from Yuna's abuse, and Zara attended every session. "I want to adopt them," Zara said one night. Junwoo looked shocked. "Adopt them? If we get married, I want to be their legal mother, not stepmother. Mother." She met his eyes. "They deserve someone who'll protect them forever. I want to be that person." Junwoo kissed her deeply. "Yes. God, yes. Let's do it." The legal process took months, but eventually, the documents were signed. Zara Williams became Zara Kang, and Minjun and Hana became her children. The wedding was small, just family and close friends. When Junwoo slipped the ring, the same ring from that first engagement, onto her finger, it felt different, real this time, built on truth instead of lies. But fairy tales always have complications. 3 months after the wedding, Zara discovered she was pregnant. The joy was immediate and overwhelming. "We're having a baby." She showed Junwoo the positive test with tears streaming down her face. "Our baby." He lifted her, spinning her around. "This is perfect. Everything is perfect." They told the children that night. Minjun looked concerned. "Will you love the new baby more than us?" "Never," Zara said firmly, kneeling to his level. "I chose you. I fought for you. You're mine forever. This baby will be your little brother or sister. We're all family." Hana hugged her tightly. "I'm going to be the best big sister." For a few months, everything was blissful. Zara's pregnancy progressed normally. The children were excited. Junwoo was attentive and overprotective. Then the complications started: preeclampsia, bed rest, emergency hospitalizations. By 7 months, the doctors were worried. "The baby needs to come early," Dr. Kim said gently. "Your blood pressure is dangerously high. If we wait much longer, we risk both your lives." "Do what you need to do," Junwoo said, his hand gripping Zara's. "Just keep them both alive." The emergency C-section was terrifying. Zara was conscious but foggy from medication. She heard the doctor's urgent voices, felt the pressure and pulling, saw Junwoo's pale face above her. Then a baby's cry. Sharp, strong, furious. "It's a girl," Dr. Kim announced, holding up a tiny, perfect baby, a healthy baby girl. Tears streamed down Zara's face. "She's okay? She's perfect. Small but strong." The baby was placed on Zara's chest for a brief moment before being whisked to the NICU for monitoring. Zara reached for Junwoo's hand. "We have a daughter." "We have a daughter," he echoed, his voice breaking. "You did it. You're amazing." Recovery was slow. The baby, they named her Sumi after Junwoo's first wife, at his request, stayed in the NICU for 2 weeks. But eventually, they brought her home. Minjun and Hana were gentle with their new sister, taking turns holding her under supervision, reading her stories, singing lullabies. Watching her children together, Zara felt a peace she'd never known. This was her family, broken pieces that had somehow fit together into something whole and beautiful. "I love you," Junwoo whispered one night as they watched Sumi sleep. "Thank you for forgiving me, for staying, for building this life with me." But Zara's transformation wasn't complete. Over the next year, she became more than just a wife and mother. She started a foundation to help foreign women in Korea who were struggling with discrimination, abuse, and isolation. Used Junwoo's resources to create safe houses, legal aid, job training programs. Word spread.
This place
Women
is
from all over
magnificent, isn't it?
Asia heard
It's
about the
absolutely
American woman
breathtaking.
who'd
Not
married
as
into
breathtaking
power
as you.
and
Oh,
used it to
stop it.
protect the vulnerable. They called her the Guardian. One day, a young woman appeared at their gate. Beaten, terrified, running from an abusive fiancé who had powerful connections. "Please," she begged Zara. "I heard you help people like me. I have nowhere else to go." Zara looked at this girl, who could have been her years ago. "You're safe now. Come inside." She sheltered the woman, provided legal help, used Junwoo's influence to ensure the abusive fiancé faced consequences. More women came. Zara's foundation grew, and slowly her reputation shifted from foreign wife to protector of the powerless. Junwoo watched his wife transform into a force of nature. "You're changing the city," he said with pride. "I'm trying to," Zara replied. "No one should suffer what those children suffered. What I almost suffered. If I have power now, I'm going to use it for good." 5 years later, the Kang family was thriving. Minjun was 13, brilliant and kind. Hana was 11, creative and brave. Sumi was 4, a perfect blend of both her parents. Zara's foundation had helped over 2,000 women escape abuse. Junwoo had fully legitimized his business, cutting all questionable ties. Yuna had been released from prison and immediately left Korea, destroyed and forgotten. They stood on the same balcony where Junwoo had first proposed, watching their children play in the garden below. "Do you ever regret it?" he asked, "staying with me despite the lies?" "Every day," Zara said, then smiled at his stricken expression. "I'm kidding. No, never. You gave me a family, purpose, power to help people." She squeezed his hand, "And you became the man you promised to be. Honest, open, good. You made me better. We made each other better." She leaned against him. "That's what love does." Below, Hana called up to them. "Mama, Papa, come play with us." They went down together, joining their children in the garden. The feared businessman and the foreign woman who'd saved his children, who'd built an empire of compassion from the ashes of cruelty, who'd proven that even in darkness, locked in basements or trapped in lies, humanity could break free. And love, real love, built on truth and sacrifice, could heal anything. This was their story, and it was only beginning. The end.